Hi, welcome to Schein Chats. I'm Vikki Goodall, the Sales and Marketing Director for Henry Schein UK, and today I am joined by Barry Oulton. Barry is a dentist of 20 years in Haslemere, and he's also the founder of The Confident Dentist. So thanks for joining us today, Barry.
Thanks for having me.
So I just wanted to have a chat to you about The Confident Dentist. You set it up last year?
It's about 18 months
18
now.
months ago, and I just wanted you to talk us through what your aims for it were and what you're trying to achieve with it.
Right, so we have to go back 20 years.
Wow, okay.
So 20 years ago I was the first dentist to attend a sales training course in dentistry. And then that made a big impact on how I was able to communicate with my patients. Probably about 12 years ago then, I learnt accidentally through personal circumstances, I learned neuro-linguistic programming. And that had a massive shift on my personal life and my professional life. And at that time, I realized that if I could combine an element of a sales technique and process, plus the NLP and the communication side of things, that it would have a big impact. So I did that and implemented it at my own practice, and that made a huge impact to my family life, my business life, and my profits. And so I thought that there was a potential gap in the market to be able to share what I'd learned in modern communication techniques into dentistry. So that's really where the idea of the Confident Dentist and the Confident Dentist Academy came from, which is to get out and share the information. But it has kind of grown into other things like the injection technique that I've developed, where patients are completely unaware that they've had an injection.
Which is amazing, as a phobic, amazing.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Really simple. So that's where we're at the moment, is really wanting to get the information out there, grow it. I'd like to take it outside of the UK, out of dentistry, because the information that we're sharing is generic, really. And as you know, because you've attended the course, it's pretty good stuff.
It is. So yeah, I've attended the course. It was really, really good. Great for me as a non-dentist. I could still use a lot of the techniques, and we've also had you in to help our sales team as well, which was excellent. But when you're training the dentists or having the courses with the dentists over the last 18 months, what are you seeing that they really need the help with?
So I think this is probably the biggest hurdle for me myself, which is that, generally speaking, for all of us, we don't know what we don't know. And when it comes to communicating, none of us are ever taught how to communicate. We come out the womb, we just learn, we observe, and we do. And so when I learned that these kind of nuances of personality profiling, personality preferences, and how we can tailor our communication to communicate much more in your model of the world rather than my model of the world, it just blew my mind. The issue that I found is people don't know that they don't know that. So getting that information out there is taking a bit of time. And what I'm finding is, generally speaking, most dentists benefit greatly from learning some structured way of communicating and some structured way of taking a patient through a sales process, which to sell is to serve, because it comes from the word sellier, which is to serve. So them not realizing that there is a way of learning to improve the way they're communicating, which improves their relationships, improves their results, improves their profits and everything else. So there is a big lack in that, and the hurdle for me is how to help people identify that they'll benefit from learning it.
Yeah, I definitely saw that when I was on your course. There was a dentist there who you could hear his frustration, you could see his frustration that he knew what was good for his patients, but they wouldn't accept the treatment, and he was so upset by it. And you could see he's trying to do well. He's a healthcare professional, but he was so frustrated. It was all around communication.
It's really interesting that you mentioned that, because that chap an hour ago signed up to come again on the training course.
Oh, there you go.
And he's bringing 2 other people with him from his practice.
You could see it.
He benefited a lot.
Definitely. The other thing that you and I have talked about a lot recently, and is close to our hearts personally and in the profession, is around mental health.
Yes.
So it's a big topic at the minute, and especially in our industry. So just talk to us a little bit about your interest in that.
So my interest in that stemmed from my own kind of situation, like 12 years ago. The reason I went and learned NLP was because I was having a tough time mentally. Didn't really realize it. But at the time I was having panic attacks, became the single parent of 2 girls, and went off and learned some stuff. And then it really hit home when I began to learn how we process our feelings, and that our body posture is a huge influencing factor on how we feel, and has a net effect on how we process information and what we experience in the world. So it kind of fitted in really beautifully. When I spoke for you guys at the symposium, the BDA had just brought out their research paper from last year, which stated that something like 50% of dentists are struggling with their daily stress. And it was 17.6% of the profession last year seriously thought about suicide.
I know.
So 1 in 5 of us are genuinely thinking of killing ourselves. And that is a huge concern because, again, we're not taught how to cope with the stress. In fact, we're not even taught how to recognize it.
Yep.
And there are forums on Facebook, and you see some posts, and people get berated rather than being picked up. And so there's a number of things that I am doing. Number one is that sharing the information from Amy Cuddy. If you guys, Amy Cuddy's video is amazing, which is about posture, and it's now scientifically proven that our posture can change our chemical makeup. And second thing is I'm developing some stuff in terms of mental health for a URL. I've got panicpal.com. I want to develop an app, hopefully get some sponsorship to help me develop an app to help people having panic attacks and anxiety things, because 12 years ago I had panic attacks, and then recently 2 years ago when my mum died, it was a much slower process of decline for me. And so recognizing there's different things that can affect us.
Yeah, and affects different people in different ways.
And finding some help and resources to help us. So it's great that it's now in the public domain.
Yeah.
And I think when you say I've had some mental health issues, people go, oh, actually, so have I.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
And
we need to talk about it more. And I think next year we're hoping to do something together around it.
We are definitely going to do something together.
Which will be great as well. So thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
It's been fantastic, and I look forward to doing more with you at the Digital Symposium next year.
Me too. Thanks for talking to me.
Thanks, Barry.